I heard someone say, you're never going to feel 100% ready for what God is calling you to do. The readiness is hidden in your obedience. Let's get this house cleaned up while I tell you how I've seen this play out in my own life. A perfect example of this is the vendor event I just did. I wanted to say no because of fear. Fear of what people may think, fear of nobody liking my products, fear of losing money, and just an overall fear of the unknown. But God had replaced my no with a yes. God was leading me to step out on faith in spite of all of my fear. And baby, let me tell you, everything fell in place. I told God on the drive there, I just want to make my $50 vendor fee back. I got there at the time I was told, but there wasn't a table set out for me. They went looking and found the very last table. They set it up on the right side of the room, and then I was able to set up and go into the building to hear the speakers. And let me tell you, these speakers were speaking directly to me, even though they didn't know. When I went back to my table, they had moved it to the left side of the room where people stood in line to get their food. They had an opportunity to look at my table as they waited. They asked the vendors to get up and say something about their business. I was scared, to say the least. Everyone seemed like they had it all together, and here I am, my first time, having to speak on my business in public. But when it was my turn, I just spoke. I let the Holy Spirit guide me on what to say, and I went back to my table. People started coming to my table left and right. Even one of the speakers came over and gave me an encouraging word. At the end of the event, I tallied up everything, and I made more than quadruple the amount I asked God for. That moment showed me that obedience opens doors that fear wants to keep shut. If I had let fear win, I would have missed out on all that God had for me that day. So, if you're waiting to feel ready before stepping out on what God is calling you to do, don't. The readiness comes in the obedience. Say yes, step out on faith, and watch God move.